sorry? Yeah, okay. We will, I will call this meeting of the Railroad Transportation Safety District to order for March 3rd, 2026. This meeting of the City of Lincoln, Lancaster County Railroad Transportation Safety District, commonly referred to as the RTSD, is subject to and adheres to the Nebraska Open Meetings Act. A copy of the Open Meetings Act is available for inspection and is posted by the entrance to this room. The RTSD agenda for today's meeting was posted on the RTSD website on February 24th, 2026. The RTSD website is also accessible by links from both the City of Lincoln and Lancaster County official government sites. In addition, on February 26th of 2026, the meeting agenda was posted on the bulletin boards located in the City Hall, first floor, 555 South 10th Street. A copy of the agenda is also available at the entrance to this room. One copy of the meeting agenda and all the materials being considered today are located on the dais, and complete copies of these materials are on file at the RTSD office at 949 West Bond Street, Suite 200. With that, we'll move on to item 3 of the agenda, approval of the minutes. I would entertain a motion to approve.
Move approval of the minutes.
Second.
Motion by Carlson, second by Schulte to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Bowers?
Yes.
Carlson?
Yes.
Schulte?
Yep.
Vest?
Yes, motion carries 4-0. Item number 4, report of statement of financial activity. Kevin.
Good morning. I think Roger is putting the statement of financial activity up on the board for all of you. As of February 13th of 2026, we had received total receipts of just shy of $5.5 million. That represented about 58% of our budget. We're 55% collected on tax receipts. We've received 100% of our Lincoln on the Move reimbursement, and we've also received about 64% of our budget of investments. So as far as revenue goes, we're pretty close to right on track as far as that. Disbursements through February 13th, we've dispersed out $117,787. The majority of that is related to commissions paid to our county treasurer for collections of taxes and that kind of thing. As far as the balance sheet goes, our bank balance as of February 13th was $887,547. Our investment balance was $50,618,737. Of that amount, $770,000 was in a money market. Since the date of this report, we did take, you may notice we had liquid cash of just over $1.6 million. We took that $1.6 million, we added it to 2 other CDs that have come due, the first 2 CDs listed on there, and we used that money. We purchased nearly $2.9 million of CDs. So a lot of that liquid cash was kind of a timing of when this report was generated. That cash has since been invested into CDs. If you're kind of looking at where we were a year ago we had $40.7 million of investments. Compare that to 50.6 now. We're about $10 million higher this year in investments than we were a year ago. As just reminders, I know all the board knows, those CDs, those investments that we are holding right now are anticipation of future expenses related to 33rd and Cornhusker. Any questions on the report?
Kevin, I'm not seeing it. I think you alluded to it. What is our cash on, outside of the investments, what's our cash on hand?
So about halfway down, there's a bank balance of $887,547. And then the very last line of the investments, that's a money market account. So if you add those 2 up, that's where you get kind of the liquid cash at that point in time. It's kind of a timing issue. The treasurer's office had just right before I ran the report, they had done the January distribution, so that money was sitting in cash before they had a chance to actually get it invested into CDs like they normally would. Okay. So that number may appear a little bit high, but that's because it's just the timing of it.
And the 887,000, that's more than enough to meet our budget demands for this upcoming year.
I mean, if you look through the first seven and a half months of the fiscal year, we've paid out expenses of $118,000. So I continue to work with Roger on a monthly basis of what are our immediate cash needs, so that we can kind of work with the treasurer's office regarding what do we do with the distributions that we got. Do we get those reimbursed? Do we need to hold them for liquid cash? And Roger and I are kind of working right now, if anything that we can possibly invest and get locked up at a higher interest rate, we're going to do that.
Okay, very good. Any other questions for Kevin?
Just a statement, super small thing, but I believe Frontier Bank is now Equity Bank, so I might just pay attention to that.
Okay. That's the report I get from the county treasurer's office, so I just use the information they provide me there.
I think it just happened this year, in the last couple months, so.
Okay,
Anything else?
duly noted. All right.
All right.
We do need a motion to accept the report of statement of financial activity.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Schulte, second by Carlson. Please call the roll.
Carlson,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yep.
Vest,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item number 5, report regarding current budget status.
And with the board's pleasure, I'll just kind of do 5 and 6 together as we have a draft budget in there. But on the screen, as Kevin said, we haven't really spent a lot of money yet this year. Actual operating expense is just $103,000. I don't have any concerns with them paying insurance, some of those things as the year has come up. Down in the capital expenditures, we've paid for a couple of barricades in railroad crossings, and the only real expenditure is some minor invoices for 33rd and Cornhusker. Those will start ramping up here, and Chris Humphrey will give you an update. I'll barely get into a few things. So then, as we think about if there's any questions about the current budget, I'd certainly answer those. My goal today is to also show a draft or a proposed budget for us to think a little bit about, be looking forward to at the June meeting. So in the far right column is a proposed 2027 budget. That would be July 1 of 26 through June 30 of 27. Pretty much perpetuating the budget from last year. Superintendent services I kept at 70. I did increase the support services, just time and inflation, and increasing the work that Kevin does and working with in the county treasurer and investments and putting together financial reports and budgets for me. So we proposing to increase that. That would just be a $3,000 increase on the labor services part of the budget. In the other operating costs, kind of trying to perpetuate what was in there. If you'll notice, under accounting and auditing, this year's cost was $18,800. The proposal that we have before us for later consideration is $19,950 to do the audit for next year and the budget for next year. And travel expenses, I did increase the insurance a little bit. Insurance continues to go up in some areas, so I added $2,000 in there. You'll notice the commissions is left zero, thinking about next year. Commissions are a direct mathematical calculation, 2% of the tax collections. Until we have a better sense maybe of what we might have in the way of a levy request, we thought we'd just leave that zero. Kevin and I and others will be working and visiting with board members as you desire between now and June, talking about cash flow, 33rd and Cornhusker, next projects, cash as well. So we just left that zero. Down in the capital projects, proposing to just perpetuate the crossing improvement budgets of $300,000, $250 for the city and $50 for the county. Down under the projects, would continue and recommend continuing a miscellaneous engineering of 300 and emergency and safety of 200. The 33rd and Cornhusker budget, we give kudos to Chris Humphrey and Ryan for their work as we have morphed out of the RTSD paying for everything, and now we're in these agreements with the state to move that project forward. They've got a really pretty good handle. We're not going to spend very much of that $7.5 million that's in the budget. We'll probably have a $600,000 or $700,000 invoice from the state in the next couple of months, and that will be the local share, the RTSD share for the final design contract that has been entered into with Olson. Whatever, again, for public that's listening, whatever's in a budget that doesn't get spent just stays in the cash account. Can't be spent unless we rebudget it the following year. Our estimate for the next fiscal year for 33rd and Cornhusker would be about $5 million. And Chris will go over some early construction packages, perhaps getting started on some right-of-way, if that is a possibility. So that's our best estimate of what we might actually spend out of our accounts to match the local share, provide the 20% share. I don't have anything else in there other than down under the Parks Department's project for the trail along the OPPD crossing and going underneath the OPPD bridge at Pine Lake. They've indicated to me that they've had a little bit of a slowdown with the environmental document and getting to an actual construction bid. So I am being advised they probably won't be in a position to invoice us for our commitment of $485,000. So I'll rebudget that for next year, and at the June meeting there will probably be another interlocal agreement for paying them that in the next year.
Before you move on from that, is that not connected to the OPPD undercrossing? I just see a zero there too. I guess I thought that was moving forward as well, but
Which
the Beal Slough OPPD undercrossing.
It's about the fourth one down, miscellaneous emergency 33rd, then Beal Slough.
Well, I might have to just eat some crow and say I'm embarrassed, and maybe I put the number in under the wrong project. I will go back and look at that. Right now, the only commitment that we have is for that Beal Slough undercrossing near 70th Street.
Okay. Yeah, so that should be under
The amounts,
undercrossing rather than at the Pine Lake crossing. That's what I'm understanding you to say, possibly.
Yes.
the amount's
Yeah.
right.
The amount is
location.
correct, and it is for the undercrossing of the Beal Slough
Okay.
Trail.
How long is OPPD going to be using that line? Do we know?
Say that again.
How much longer is OPPD going to be using that line?
Well, their current contract with BNSF terminates December 31st of 27.
Of 27. Okay. I thought it was this year. All right.
So we've got all of this year and next year is my understanding, and then at that point, my understanding is that Union Pacific has the coal contract. So,
They do. Yeah.
but the tracks will continue to stay there, and
Right.
they could use them for other stuff, even that. But that reduces some of the pressure on that line for other issues. And it probably still meets the goal of the comprehensive plan and the strategies to continue to separate intermodal traffic from trains, and having that is probably still a
Probably
good
better
thing.
option.
Where is that again?
It is
70th.
70th Street south of
Pine Lake.
Pine Lake.
Okay.
So you're saying that the 485 is in the wrong line. I understand that, but you also said something about that there's some environmental things that might delay this a little bit, and that's why
They're
it's
just
probably
telling me
less-
right now that project is a federal aid project,
Oh, okay.
and NDOT is involved in managing a federal aid project, and there has been some delays on getting the environmental document procured, finalized, so they can move ahead with the project. I
Okay.
don't think the project's in any jeopardy of not moving ahead, it's just slowed down.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions on this report? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to,
We don't need
we
any.
don't.
No,
Got
we
it.
don't
5
need
and
taking-
6, we just hear the information. Okay. No further questions. We'll move on to item 7, consideration of the legal contract. Roger and Bill.
Okay, Mr. Kudelik of Crosby Gunzel is here today, and I'm here to recommend to the board the continuation of their legal service contract for the upcoming year. The proposed contract continues to maintain the same fairly discounted rate that they've been charging for the work that they do, and I appreciate the work, the attentiveness that we get from Mr. in his firm. So with that, I would say.
First of all, Bill Kudel at Crosby Guns Law Firm, 134 South 13th Street. It's been our privilege as a firm, and I certainly appreciate the opportunity to work with the board and work with Roger as well. We very much appreciate the engagement we've had with the board over the years, and as Roger aptly indicated, no financial change in the financial terms this year again. It's been that way for a few years. At some point in time, we may have to revisit that, but if the board is comfortable with this, our firm is comfortable with this, and I again appreciate the opportunity to answer any questions you have.
Any questions for Bill? Now's our time.
That's right. Or you can ask me questions anytime.
Right. Well, you've been here since I've been here, Bill, and helped steer us through all the things the board has faced. I know that there's a lot of behind-the-scene things that you are involved in just to help move smoothly through. So I guess I'm not seeing any reason to not renew. I would open it up to a motion if someone was so inclined.
I'd move approval of the legal contract as submitted.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Carlson, second by Schulte. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Best,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item number 8, consideration
Thank you.
of budget and audit contract.
Roger Feigert again, and I'll ask Tony Jarena to come up from HBE. Again, long-standing service from those individuals in preparing and doing an audit of the work of the RTSD for the previous year, and then preparing the actual budget that's required to go to the state auditor. And as I said, I provided the funds up in the operating budget that would pay for those, and I call these agreements and whatnot, letter of engagement. And so Tony's here to kind of explain the effort and what's in those documents.
Named Tony Jarena from HBE LLP here in Lincoln, Nebraska. We have been auditing the RTSD for, at least HBE has, for 10 years or so, and we would be very happy to have that relationship continue. Our proposal will be as similar to the prior year. It will include audit services on your financial statements for the year end 2026, and it'll also include the budget for the year coming up 26-27. Time flies, doesn't it? Our fee for both of these services together will be $19,950. It is like a 6% increase from the prior year. As in prior years, we will be here at your board meetings, and we will always be in constant contact with Roger and Kevin, and we will make sure that there is no time lapse between any communications. We are usually answer your emails within a few hours, actually. So it would be we would be very happy to continue this relationship. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Any questions for Tony?
And I would recommend approval of this contract. The firm's been very, very good working with us. Good at pointing out any corrective action and things that we need to do, and really, there have deficiencies to speak of in all of this, so appreciated their work.
I'd move to approve the budget and audit contract as it's submitted.
Second?
Okay, motion by Carlson, second by Schulte. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item number 9, consideration of Operation Lifesaver financial support.
Okay, this is a continuation of some financial support requests that the RTS has done for several years. Operation Lifesaver is an international nonprofit educational organization of volunteers. Their mission is to educate the public about making safe decisions at all rail crossings and around tracks and train tracks. And we have an invoice with a request. There are differing levels of support from bronze, around $300,000, silver, gold, platinum is $1,000 or more. Last year, the board did approve a contribution of $1,250, which puts you in that platinum range. They really work hard, going all over the state, to the different schools, to county fairs, trying to remind us all to behave, act correctly around the crossings, because it's just pedestrian never wins, a car never wins if they happen to get in conflict with a train. So I think their activity is very worthwhile and would recommend continued support.
Roger, do you have a recommendation on an amount for this year?
I'm comfortable continuing what you did last year. It was $1,250, put you in there. It really goes a long ways with them. Both Union Pacific and BNSF provide a significant amount of support to them, but they're appreciative of what we did last year. I think it's reasonable to do that.
Given that, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve $1,250 for Nebraska Operation Lifesaver.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to continue to support Operation Lifesaver at the rate of $1,250, which puts us in the platinum category. Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Schulte.
Yep.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 10, consideration of Hastings Sub update proposal.
Okay, so we'll take just a minute and back off. In the late teens, 17 and 18, the RTSD was studying a quiet zone in southwest Lincoln. And on the drawing that's on the board, it is the yellow line is what we call the Hastings Sub, or you can call it the Amtrak line. That line crosses West A Street, Folsom, it crosses Coddington, West Van Doren, a number of arterial streets. And as the RTSD looked at that as a possible quiet zone, we became really aware that there is the potential for those trains to go in a different route and avoid that corridor. So the quiet zone was put on hold, and we entered into a contract amendment with Olson's to study the potential of rerouting the Hobson Yard. And on the drawing that is shown, it would be eliminating or removing the yellow line and building a new red line track through Hobson Yard and circling back down around to provide that same loop back to Yankee Hill Brick. In 2019, as 33rd and Cornhusker continued to move ahead, the board that was the board's priority project, and at that point we put really all other capital projects on hold and focused on the continuing securing the funding and the resources to be able to construct 33rd and Cornhusker. Well, praise the Lord, today we're here with a FRA grant of nearly $70 million that assures the completion of 33rd and Cornhusker. And with that in place, the RTSD is probably in the range of having $20 to $25 million of that cash balance that's available to consider for other projects or other activities. So I'm here today to recommend to the board, I think the next big project that the RTSD might undertake would be the relocation of that Hastings line, because it would eliminate the conflicts on 5 arterial streets, 2 local streets, and a couple of trail crossings. 33rd and Cornhusker has an exposure rate every day of a little over 1 million. If you take these arterial streets down here and the traffic, the conflicts in this area is in the $500,000 to $600,000 range. So every day there are certainly conflicts, delays, and the potential for crashes to happen. The proposal today would be to take that draft study that was put on hold in 2019 and update it to numbers today. Inflation, costs, other things have changed over the last 6 years. Should the board agree that this is a worthy endeavor to continue looking at, that proposal would bring updated numbers and cost of the project and all of the complexities of that project back to the board at the June meeting for consideration of entering into a contract to continue working towards the potential of abandoning that line. So today I'm asking for, or recommending to you that we should move ahead. We should take the old study and update that. I have a proposal from Olson's that is attached for just a little under $20,000 to update that study and bring all the numbers up to today's dollars and perhaps a schedule on what it would take to build this project in the future. Would come back in June.
And how much is it going to cost to update the numbers?
Just under $20,000, a little over $19,000.
And so then you think that could be done by the June meeting, and then they would come back and go in depth into this project, what the benefits are. And
That's the goal. And I do have Mark Egger from Olson is here. If I'm overstating, the goal is you're comfortable that we would have an updated proposal for them in June. Yes.
I am fine updating the numbers. I'm fine. Let's know what we're talking about when we have a conversation in June. I am far, far, far from being certain we need this project, but I'm fine today.
Okay.
Getting the numbers together, and we can have those ongoing conversations.
The goal is to have facts and information for
That's
the
fine.
public
Yep.
to debate.
Yep.
You bet.
That's fine.
Okay.
is that a motion?
I just want everyone, sure, I will make a motion that we go ahead and proceed with having Olson update the numbers.
Yeah, we haven't vetted this. I mean, this
Right.
was touched on 6 years ago.
Right. I feel like we had a glancing conversation about this. I was going to say 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm far from committed to seeing this out and seeing a major investment in this. But I think it's fine to get the numbers together and have the conversation.
And if you don't mind the motion, this is just a proposal kind of with the scope. There isn't an actual contract there. If the board makes this motion to move ahead, you'd be authorizing the chair and the executive director to go ahead with our legal representative of formalizing an engineering agreement with that scope for that fee and sign that engineering agreement to update the proposal.
For updating the numbers. Just
Proposal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have motion by Flowerday, second by Carlson, and this proposal just gives us an accurate picture to look at. This is a discussion that's gonna go in depth as
Yes.
far as cost and benefits, and do we wanna move in this direction or what we wanna do, but this will allow us to have an accurate look at it, so. Motion and second, please call the roll.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yeah.
Vest.
Yes. Motion carries 5-0. Item 11, report of project and crossing updates, starting with 33rd and Cornhusker.
Okay.
Chris.
Our project manager, Chris Humphrey, is here to give us an update on that project. So, Chris?
Yes, good morning. Chris Humphrey, Project Manager for 33rd and Cornhusker. We have had a lot of positive movement since we met back in December. So the program agreement between the city and the state is fully executed. We also have a fully executed final design agreement with Olson, like Roger was saying. So we have notice to proceed on that. So Olson is moving full force. We've had a lot of coordination meetings with the Nebraska Department of Transportation, getting everything in alignment so that we can move forward as appropriate during this next year in terms of environmental reevaluations that we need to do, right-of-way coordination, which involves updating title searches, getting ready for appraisals, negotiations, just the whole acquisition process. Our public engagement plan, right now we're looking at an end of April public engagement open house. We don't have a venue, we don't have a specific date set for that, but prior to that time, we'll be re-engaging with the stakeholders. The last time that we have touched base with them was at the public hearing in the fall of 2024. So we'll be moving forward with that as well. Like Roger said, there's some advanced packages that we're taking a look at. So along the 33rd Street corridor, there's some water mains and some sanitary sewer that needs to be relocated. We have been working with Dead Man's Run. Some of those utility relocations would be beneficial to get out in advance of when they're planning on starting construction, which is early 2027. We also have a couple other advanced packages of shared paths, so kind of a larger sidewalk along the north side of Layton, west of 33rd Street, and along the west side of 35th Street, north of Huntington, and that will put in place the pedestrian detours in advance of when construction will start for when the trail is affected. And we also have some other advanced packages. Some is the demolition of structures. The timing of those depends on when the full acquisitions, property acquisitions are acquired. And then the last package that we have, is Griffith Street. So that is currently the road between just north of Huntington, west of 33rd Street, and that will provide the access for the city's Baldwin shop, and then a couple other private properties in the area. So we're looking at doing those improvements so when Dead Man's Run terminates the intersection of 33rd and Baldwin, that those facilities will have access to 33rd and Huntington intersection. And that's, in general, a big, broad view of what's going on with the project. I'm happy to answer any questions.
I'd agree with that assessment, Chris. So many moving parts right now. You did say that the final design is completed. Is that did I hear that correctly?
The agreement is complete, and we received a notice to proceed from the state to begin final design. So final design is expected to take about a year.
Okay.
So
That's where we're at. We're in process of final design.
correct.
And is that where we work through the issues regarding those businesses that live off of drive-in traffic out there? I know there was a Whitehead Oil and the barbecue place, Hog Wild, I think it is.
Correct.
Well, that's where we'll start to evaluate how we can recognize the impact or minimize the impact on businesses like that.
Correct. And we're planning on reaching out to stakeholders and property owners like them in advance of the open house and talk through access issues. And that's part of final design, is kind of putting those final details into the design plans,
Yeah.
like driveway access or driveway location.
I know that was my biggest takeaway from our last public hearing on this, is that we've got some very important businesses, very helpful businesses out there that have that, want that easy access for motorists, so. Otherwise, it's a big process. Final design takes a year, so that has to be concluded before we move along with some of the next steps.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and the environmental reevaluation. So we've had several coordination meetings with NDOT. We have another coordination meeting this afternoon with the project team. Yeah, there's a lot of different plates that we need to keep on spinning, and it's just going to be full steam ahead. It's going to be quite a year. So a lot of progress between now and the next board meeting.
Yeah. Any questions for Chris? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate your time. Item B, miscellaneous other railroad work. Roger?
Just would report, as the public would know, Union Pacific had a fire, and the bridge over Salt Creek, just to the west Haymarket Park area, came down a week ago. I site visited this morning. They jumped on things immediately. The burnt out wooden trestle's been replaced with concrete and steel approach. The bridge is set back in place. The rails are on. They have got some finishing work on putting in some more ties, safety, some railings and stuff across the bridge. But their heavy work is done, and I would anticipate it should be ready to be used or in service just in the next couple of days.
Oh.
Totally amazing amount of work in 1 week to take that area and get it put back together. So kudos to Union Pacific, probably also to the NRD and others for helping them get there and access and whatnot. So
Amazing stuff what they can get done out there, because
Yes.
those are big pieces of equipment. That whole bridge went back into, the whole trestle arrangement went back into place.
Yeah.
Not your everyday construction project.
no, it's not.
All
And-
right. Anything else, Roger?
No, I don't have anything else to report or any communications.
No. So item 12, nothing there. Item 13, no communications.
No.
Item 14, any members of the board have any non-agenda items you want to discuss? Any members of the public wishing to comment, please come forward. Any members of the public? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move adjournment.
Second.
Motion by Carlson, second by Schulte to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Carlson,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Motion carries. We are adjourned, everyone.